Okay, so this is how we're going to do ACT questions, and I will go over some additional concepts, and then when we meet for class, I will just answer questions, okay? So here's all these questions here. So we want to know what fraction, for number 32, what fraction lies exactly halfway between 2/3 and 3/4? So to do this, if we want to know what lies halfway between 2/3 and 3/4, well, we could convert those to decimals if we wanted to, and we could kind of figure this out that way. Or we can just look at, so we have 2/3 and we have 3/4. Well, let's get a common denominator here, okay? So if we get a common denominator, I'm going to multiply this by 4/4, and I'm going to multiply this by 3/3. Okay, so 2 times 4 is 8. This will be over 12. 3 times 3 is 9, 12. Okay, which halfway between those, if we were allowed to have decimals inside of fraction, would be 8.5 twelfths, right? But let's get rid of that fraction. So we could just multiply that by 2/2. So that's going to be 17/24. Which looks like it is K. The other way, you could just multiply this by 2/2, multiply this by 2/2. You get 16/24 here, 18/24 here. So halfway between those would be 12/24. Cool. Okay, this one. Gianna is converting a 12-foot by 15-foot room in her house to a craft room. Gianna will install the tile herself, but we'll have CC Installations build and install the cabinets. The scale drawing below displays the location of the cabinets in the craft room, and 0.25 inches represents 2 feet. So that's important. That is something I want to highlight, okay? Cabinets will be installed along one of the 12-foot walls from floor to ceiling. The 4 cabinets that are each 3 feet tall will be installed in the middle of the room. So there's 4 cabinets here. They just told us that there are 4 cabinets here. These are the only cabinets that will be installed. Each of them will be 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep. So that's going to be 2 by 2 for each of these. Okay. So really, if that's 2 feet by 2 feet, this is going to end up being 4 by 4. Okay, and then there's cabinets all along this wall that are also 2 feet by 2 feet. So that means there'd be 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not drawn to scale, sorry. And then CC Installation has been given an estimate of $2,150 for building and installing these cabinets. Okay, so that's how much it is going to cost to build and install these cabinets. So this first question, a 15-foot wall is how many inches long in the scale of the drawing? Well, let's look back at what we highlighted. So it says that 0.25 inches represents 2 feet. Well, we have a 15-foot wall, so we need to figure out how many of those 2 feet go into 15. Well, so we could just do 2 divided by 15, and you end up getting 7, 14, 10, 0.5. Okay, and you could have figured that out in your head. You know that 2 goes into 15 7 times, and there's 1 left over, right? So it'd be 7.5. But those 7.5 2 feet inches, or 7.5 here, represents 0.25 of an inch. So this is going to be 7.5 times 0.25, which if we multiply that, that's 5, 2, 35, plus 2 is 37. That would be 10. And then 14, 15. So if we add that, I'm just going to finish adding up here. So that would be 5, 7, 8, 1. But there's 1, 2, 3 decimals, so I'm going to move that decimal over 3 places. So that means that this wall right here, this 15-foot wall, on her drawing is only 1.875 inches. Okay. So for this one, Gianna will install tile on the portion of the floor that will not be covered by cabinets. What is the area in square feet of the portion of the floor that will not be covered by cabinets? So we need to figure out, well, what's not covered by cabinets. So we know that this right here, so this is all covered by cabinets. This is all covered by cabinets. So it's the rest of this that is not covered by cabinets. So it's all of this other stuff that is not covered by cabinets. Okay, so we need to figure out what is that other stuff. So first, we need to figure out, so 2 times 12, this area right here, this is going to be 24. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. But then this entire area is going to be 15 times 12, which is, I have to use my calculator, 180. So this whole entire thing will be 180. So then to figure out, let's first figure out how much is covered by cabinets. So if we just do 16 plus 24, you get 40. But to figure out what is not, so the rest of it will be 180 minus the 40 that was covered. So it would be 140. Cool. Okay, CC installation estimate cost $650 for labor. So this is a base charge. You're going to pay that no matter how many cabinets you install. Plus a fixed charge per cabinet. The labor charge and the charge per cabinet remain the same. For any number of cabinets built and installed, CC Installations would give Gianna what estimate if the craft room were to have twice as many cabinets as she's planning to have. So first, this was the estimate she was given first. So let's figure out how much she's paying for cabinets given that first estimate. So if I do 2,150 and I subtract 650, get 0, 0, that'd be 15. So she's paying 1,500 just for cabinets. But if we are doubling the amount of cabinets she does, so I'm just going to double this, multiply it by 2, you get 3,000. But then she's paying the 650 also, so add those together and you get 3,650. Cool? Okay. So then this is on your quiz. I know we haven't really talked about this. This should kind of be a review. Since there's this equal sign between there, we can cross multiply this. You can only cross multiply through an equal sign. Okay, so I'm just going to boom, boom. This will be 3 times k minus 5 equals negative 4 times k plus 2. Multiply in. So this will be 3k minus 15 equals negative 4k minus 8. Then we just solve this, add that 4k over, so you get 7k equals, add 15, 7, so k equals 1. Okay, not too bad. So that's on your Canvas quiz. This one, interval and compound notation. So let's just go through this real quick. Interval is like, you either have brackets. So brackets are where it equals. And parentheses, it does not equal. Okay, so that's the interval notation. Compound inequality would be like, it's either x or y in the middle, and then it's going to be less than or equal to or be less than for both of these, and then these are just some numbers. So let's go through how to do this. So let's look at like domain and range. So domain, that is your x values, right? Oops. And range is your y values. So when you're doing domain, always go left to right. And when you're doing range, always go bottom to top, left to right. And range is always bottom to top. You always go from the smallest values to the biggest values. Okay, so if we do this, the domain here, x value, so the furthest left this goes is right here. which it's a closed circle there, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So our domain in interval notation is going to be -4. And the furthest right it goes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 8. And this part is telling us, well, x is greater than or equal to -4. This is telling us x is less than or equal to 8. We can put that all together, least to greatest. That's -4 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 8. Can do the same thing with the range. So the furthest down this goes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the range in interval notation is going to be -8. The furthest up it goes is also 8. So this is telling us y is greater than or equal to -8. This is y is less than or equal to 8. So this is going to be -8 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 8. Okay. Okay, this last one. So this is a word problem on your homework. When you're doing this, I'm going to show you how to do it on a Desmos calculator. I don't have the calculator app on my phone, so I can't, or on my iPad, so I can't really show you how to do this in the TI calculator. I could kind of talk you through it, so if you want to know, you can send me an email and I'll kind of talk you through that. But basically, this graph is this is on your homework. This graph looks something like this. So this kid is standing here and he throws a ball up and it comes back down. Okay, and we want to know, so the first thing we want to know is the horizontal distance in feet from the point at which the ball is thrown. Or no, that's not what we know, no. X is the horizontal distance. So we want to know how high is the ball when it leaves his hand. And this gives you a hint. It's just when x equals 0. So you're just going to plug 0 into here, and you actually end up just getting 3. So that means that this kid is 3 feet tall, and he's chucking a ball up as high as he can go. Okay? The maximum height of this ball is right here. So that's what this one is asking. And then the minimum, or not the minimum, when it strikes the ground, that's going to be right there where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, the easiest way I have found to do this is to just use Desmos, okay? So if you go to desmos.com/calculator, so we're going to go to this desmos.com. This is a great calculator to use. So the one we were looking at is -1/12 x squared plus, I think it was 4x plus 3. Okay, and then you can just zoom out on this. And this will tell you that, okay, this max point right there is 2451. So that means the highest this reaches is 51 feet. And then where it crosses is 48.735. Okay, pretty simple. Again, I will be in class. I can just go over additional questions maybe. Okay, have a good day, guys.